So we're going to begin to explore this theme, new rules of love. Because the world that you and I live in today is a changing world. The world is a rapidly changing world. As a matter of fact, it is said that the change in the world has become so drastic and so dynamic that almost every 5 years a new world emerges. It's as if every 5 years a new world, every 5 years a new world, every 5 years a new world emerges. So the world that we live in is a changing world. We have also been told over and over again that change is the constant thing in our world, and we need to continually adjust ourselves to change. And that's why we have been told to learn, unlearn, and relearn continually. So as you continue to progress in life, you need to keep learning, because the day you stop learning, you start dying. And then you don't only need to keep learning, you need to keep unlearning, because there are things you have learned, there are things you have believed that are no more true. There are things you have believed that are no more accurate. For instance, when we were in school, they told us the number of planets that we had. And then some of the planets they told us existed in the days when planets don't exist anymore. And the planets that they did not discover when we were in school, they are now saying there are different kind of planets. There are things that we used to do that they told us was okay. And now they are telling us, oh, that thing that we said was okay, it's no more okay, oh, it's causing cancer, oh, it's no more okay, oh, it's causing this, oh. Why? Because as we continue to grow, we are learning, but we are also unlearning. But we are also relearning. We are relearning in the fact, in the dimension that many of the things that we thought we know, we only know a part of it. There are different dimensions to it that we have not known. Now, do you know this person's house? You say, yes, I know his house. But if they ask you, have you been to the house before? You see, that's another level. Have you been to the house before? You can now say, oh yeah, I know the house, but I've never been there. Now you now see that, yes, even though you know the house, you don't really know the house, because you have never been there. Because you have never been there, you can't tell the color of the house, you can't tell the furnishing in the house, but you can say, yes, I've been to the house. They can now ask you, have you been to every part of the house? You say, no, when I went, he met me at the toilet. You didn't go to the kitchen, you didn't go to the room. Hello? So have you been there? Yes, but do you know all the dimensions that you need to know? No. So we are learning, we are unlearning, and we are relearning. Because that's the way we need to go in order for us to continually be relevant in the world that we live in today. So when we talk about money, we talk about love, we talk about life, we talk about different aspects. Yes, life is the same life. It's the same money, it's the same love, but the rules have changed. It's the same game, but the rules have changed. And we need to understand, we need to adapt ourselves to stay relevant. So when you look all around you, you find that things have changed. There are things that used to be that are no more. Things have not only changed, but people have changed. You find that there is a level of operation that we see in people today that is amazing. And you just wonder, what's wrong with people? Why are people doing this? It's just because there's so much, change in the atmosphere. Places have changed. The places you knew before, you don't know them anymore. Even this morning, while coming to church, the road from my house to the church has changed. And I'm like, okay, something, what happened? Is it because of election that everything just changed? Within how many days? I've not stepped out of my house for 4 days or 5 days. So when I stepped, I said, okay, wow, okay, things have changed. So there are changes everywhere. There are changes everywhere. The world itself has changed. It's amazing. The world has changed. And people are no more ashamed. People are no more concerned. People are very bold and very, very audacious, even in their evil now. So the world has changed. And when we're growing up listening to our mothers, growing up listening to our grandparents, growing up listening to elders, because while we're growing up, we were made to believe that age equals to wisdom. You remember, that's our age equals to wisdom. But as we began to grow, we began to realize that age is not equal to wisdom. You can be a whole fool and you can be a young wise man. We saw that in, I believe, Job 30 or 32, when Elihu and the other guys came to Job and they were all talking. And somewhere around verse 8, Elihu began to speak around verse 6. He said, I kept quiet so that you guys can speak, because while growing up, I was made to believe that gray hair equals to wisdom. So, but having listened to you guys now, I've come to realize verse 8 now says that there is a spirit in man, but the inspiration of the Lord gives them understanding. So when you are a young man and you open up yourself to the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God can lead, guide, and instruct you, and you can be wiser than your teachers. So what are some of the things that we have been told that are no more true? While growing up, we're made to believe that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But that's no more true. The reason why they told you that was because in those days, your mother, your grandmother's kitchen was the only source of food for the man. The man wakes up early in the morning, he goes into the farm, and then when he labors from morning till evening, he comes back home, he's waiting for his full-time housewife to be able to cook for him. And then he comes home, that's the only place. There are no restaurants, no canteen, no bukateria. Hello? So if you want to eat, you are either eating in your house or in your friend's house. So the only source of food was at home. So when they say, cook for your husband, no. But today, the games have changed. The greatest cook on earth today are men. All over the world, men are the greatest cook. They are chefs. Most women don't know how to cook. They don't know how to cook. So the greatest cook on earth today are men. And women are no more full-time housewife. As the man is working, the woman is working. So you leave early in the morning, you come back late at night, and you may even come before your wife, say, babe, I say, I'm behind you. 30 minutes, I'm behind you. Is it the person that is behind you that you now be saying, so what are we eating? You will be hungry. Hello? And because the way to a man's heart is not through his stomach. The man can take care of himself. There are many places to order food. There are many restaurants that can take care of that. Because what is the purpose of a good meal that is served with dishonor? You cook all the best meal, you now serve it with insults. The food no go sweet now. Hello? So that's what many people were made to believe. But that's no more true. Don't allow third party in your relationship. Oh. These are the things that has destroyed marriages. Because that's what we're told. Don't allow third party in your marriage. Oh. But one of the things I came to realize as I began to contest with some of these beliefs that are not really true, beliefs that are not really biblical, is the fact that when you sit down and think very well, you find that in the same sentence, where they are telling you not to allow a third party into your relationship, in that same sentence, they are contradicting themselves. You hear things like, don't allow a third party into your relationship. Oh, marriage is between a man, his wife, and God. Hello. Man, 1. Wife, 2. God, 3. That's why the third party. In the same sentence. So that means that the real message is not, don't allow a third party. The real message is, be careful who the third party is. Make sure that the third party is the right third party. Because in all honesty, no relationship can succeed without the third party. None. You know why? Whether you believe it or not, they are already third party in the relationship. God is a third party. The movies you are watching, the books you are reading, the message. Okay, when you come to church and you are listening to me teach you, and you are using my message to change your life, am I not a third party? Oh, thank God for church. Oh, if not for the message of the church, my marriage will have broken. That's third party helping your marriage. So we need to begin to realize that many of the rules we have lived by are all expired rules. There are new rules that we need to understand now in order for us to be the best version of ourselves. They used to tell us, when you're if you want to talk to your husband, wake him up in the middle of the night. If you try that now, I pray that it will not be a slap that you will get. Wake him up in the middle of the night. Oh. And what they are actually saying is, look for the right time. So they are supposed to give you the message. Look for the right time to communicate. I don't know if you remember, I believe it's a true story, it's not comedy, of a football match that was played one time where they say a woman went to the husband and the man carried the woman and threw her away and was watching match. I think it's a true life story. Yeah, we need to reconfirm that. The man they watched football, maybe woke up or something. The woman now started talking, and I need to talk to you. The man just carried her and threw her for balcony. No, you can Google it and confirm whether. So throw her to her for balcony and continue to watch. But he didn't even know he did that. It was after he finished watching the match. Honey, where are you? So what they are trying to tell you is, Look for the right time. Look for the right atmosphere. Use the right words. Use the right tone in communicating. So when they were saying wake him up in the middle of the night, the person telling you wake him up in the middle of the night in our own home, that was the formula. Waking our man up in the middle of the night. So she was supposed to tell you, me, the best time I talk to my husband is when I wake him up in the middle of the night. He will listen to me. So find what works for you. But they now carry their personal experience and turn that into a doctrine, and you are running with the software of somebody else's experience. And many people have gotten into trouble because they realized that all the things they were doing were not working. He said, I don't even understand. I cook for him. I cook for him. Every daddy food he wants, I cook for him. And you are wondering why all your food is not working. Because that's not what the man needs. I hope you know there are people that the way to their heart is still food. Hello, I hope you know. There are men that is still the way to their heart. They can't eat anywhere except their wife's food. So if that is your man, discover what works. Find your formula. All men are the same. All men are the same. All of them are animals. And many women believe that. Because they grew up and their mother would tell them, hey, they are the same. If you know what your father has done to me. And then you begin to form opinions that are error opinion. You begin to develop software that are you see, when we say generational curse, evil inheritance, that's where they start. Because you begin to have generational mindset, generational stronghold, generational beliefs, and then you begin to perpetuate what you are supposed to cancel. Hello? So you look at a man and be like, we don't even know what this one is doing. It's because we have not caught him. And then you begin to suspect. And the man is doing everything to be the best man. You are suspecting him. And then they tell you, women, Billy. And then you too, you join the queue. And then you begin to think that, because it happened to this one, you have to be careful. You know that it did, women. And we're causing trouble for ourselves. Why? Because we have carried a rule. We have carried a belief. We have carried a thought that we did not subject to the Spirit of God and subject to the Word of God. And then you judge every man. Say, everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. And you're wondering, okay. So a lot of people that have this kind of beliefs, they go into the marriage expecting to do something to secure themselves from the problem of their own parent that is not their problem. So a lot of women grew up with what my mother went through. I will never allow any man to take me through that. So why she's coming up with that mindset? Because her mother was a victim of a bad man. Her mother was a victim of a man that had issues. And in training her, the mother unconsciously, not by evil intention, but because she didn't have who to share with, they said don't tell any third party. So the third party was sucking breast, and she was telling the third party, as the third party was sucking breast, oh mommy, need that be bye, and then you don't know that you are pouring evil into that child. And then the child is growing, and then you are telling the man, useless man, see your children, you will not be like your father, see your father. And then the father too is doing his own. So the woman grows up believing that, look, I will never allow a man to mess me up. I'm never allowed to. And then the man that grows up in that atmosphere is also growing up saying, I will never be like my father. Any woman I marry, I'm going to love her. I'm going to care for her. I'm going to take care of her. So now these two people now marry. They come into a relationship. So the man is coming with a heart of, I'm going to be the best father, I'm going to be the best husband, I'm going to love my wife, I'm going to listen to my wife, I'm going to understand my wife, I'm going to allow my wife. And then you come in, and then you want to control the man, you want to abuse the man, you want to insult, you take everything for granted because the man is not a troublesome man. So the man tells you, you can't tell me what to do. Hello, I can't tell you what to do. If something goes wrong with you, who would they ask? I'm asking you where you are going to. You are telling me I can't ask you where you are going to. And you are supposed to be my wife. Why can't I ask you where you are going to? If you get lost now, who will they come and ask? So if you get missing, you get kidnapped, you are involved in an accident, won't they come and say, where is your wife? I don't know. Every time a spouse dies, the spouse is the first suspect. So you are telling me I don't have a right to ask you where you are going to? Why? Nobody can tell me. Because you are running a software of your mother. And you didn't know. Hello? And then as a man, because they are told the women were, so before you know it, you are keeping things. And the woman is asking, so how much do we have? I'm thinking, so what right do you have to ask me how much do I earn? What's your business with how much I earn, woman? Are you hungry? Don't you have a roof over your head? What I earn is none of your business. I'm the man of this house. Hello, sir. Who is contending with you? Who is contending with you? Every time you have to say, I'm the man, I'm the head, you have lost it already. It's not something you say, it's something you carry out. It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. You don't demand it, you command it, it just happens. Nobody is contending with the position. But many of us don't know how our upbringing and our background messes us up. And that's why we need these new rules. So that we begin to realize that, come on, things have changed. The way it used to be, it's no more like that. And that's why one of the things we are beginning to see happen is that for a lot of people that have had to relocate out of Nigeria into the Western world, they're having a lot of marital issues right now. So many marital issues. I've done so many series on Jackpa. I did Jackpa versus Jackpa Da. And then out to Jackpa Da. So I've done all kinds of stuff. And we've done the Jackpa love. Because right now, in Europe, in America, all over, women are driving their husband out of their house. They are calling police. It's an epidemic now. It's as if they are setting the guys up until they enter London. Within 3 months, 6 months, they are gone. I was watching a program, a live program. It just popped up. I could not go off it for 2 hours on Facebook. I was like, what? I didn't know it was as bad as this. Jesus is helping also. And people were coming online live to tell their own story. A woman that was a lawyer in the UK said that she's an African, she's a Nigerian, she's a lawyer, that she has now changed her legal practice to focus on marriage and divorce matters. That she has made so much money in the last 4 years than she has ever made in the last 16 years of practicing law in the UK. He says she said, I'm a woman, but I don't know what's wrong with our African women. She's a woman. Saying that. Hello, it's an issue now. And the reason is because when people were in Africa, they were practicing African marriage, not kingdom marriage. Because I told you over and over again, never marry an African man, never marry an African woman, marry a kingdom man, marry a kingdom woman. Because most of what we practice in Africa as married people is African culture, not kingdom culture. And by the time you now go into another culture, you are now carrying African culture into a European culture. The only culture that is universal is kingdom culture. Kingdom culture is universal. So whether you are in London or you are in America or you are in Europe, a man that understands kingdom culture will be a kingdom man anywhere. But if you flow with African culture, you will get into the UK or get into America and the culture will clash and there will be trouble. And one thing that many people don't know is that the African culture has a way of helping marriage. But the Western culture does not even believe in family. So it's programmed, and there are many, many benefits to not even having a family. And many men that have spent time abusing their wife, insulting their wife, demeaning their wife, now carry that culture, thinking is, I'm a man. No, that's not kingdom. Submitting yourself one to another. You see, when you are a kingdom man in marriage, they will call you a mugu in Africa. Yeah, when you're a kingdom man, you are a mugu. Every time you do things the way it is supposed to be done, because you are a kingdom person, they will call you mugu. They say, now your wife, they control her. Because they don't understand. In Africa, when you go into the kitchen and you are cooking and your wife is watching movie, you say, your wife sit down, now in the cook, they don't rub and pomade, they don't rub powder. So you carry that same mindset, you cross over to the other side, and then there's trouble.